All right. So I'm gonna intro and then go straight to you, okay?
Right. Good.
Hello and welcome to Bookbuzztv. My name is Courtney Rice, and today we have an amazing guest. She is an author, she's a nurse, she's an advocate for the military, and an American hero, Lori Griess. Let's do it again. I don't know why I said Lori. Lorna. No, Lorna. All right.
You're starting again?
Yeah. Hello
Okay.
and welcome to Bookbuzztv. My name is Courtney Rice, and today we have an amazing guest. She's an author, she is a nurse, and she is an advocate for the military. Amazing person, Lorna Griess. Welcome, Lorna.
Well, thank you, Courtney. How are you today?
I'm very well. How about yourself?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good, good, good. I mean, I read about you and just like mind blown. You were already in a position of service. You were a nurse already before you joined the military, right?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so how long were you a nurse before you actually joined the military?
Oh, only about 3 or 4 years, really.
But in nurse time,
Um,
that's probably like 10 years because that's a tough job.
It is, yeah.
Yes, on
Yeah.
every level. So that's what kind of blew my mind. And I was thinking to myself, she was already in a position of service. And
Mhm.
then you took it to a whole nother level. You took it to the jungles of Vietnam and you joined one of the roughest branches of all the military, the Army.
The Army, yeah. Um, I had a spirit of adventure. I just needed to do something. I could never see myself in suburbia with a husband and 2 kids. I just couldn't.
Well, guess what? We share that because I did something very similar. I was working a regular job. Well, it wasn't regular. I worked in security and I worked for a long time. And I always wanted to join the military. And, I finally got to a point of where I thought I had something I could contribute to the military. So I joined, but I joined when I was 32. So growing up,
Whoa, that's
yeah,
tough.
yeah,
That's
it's
tough.
different when you join when you're older because you're used to certain things in life, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, go here, go there. But best decision of my life, I must say. I was Air Force. I was something called Security Forces. It might have been called Security Police back when you were in the Vietnam days. But
Yeah.
yeah, same thing. Just like you, couldn't picture myself just having a regular life, and I wanted to contribute to this great country. And that was the way that I felt like I could do it. So I dove in head first in 6 years and one tour of duty, and I'm still here to talk about it. So yeah, we definitely have that in common.
That's the thing. You're still here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I did want to thank you for your service in both facets, medical practitioner as well as working with the Army. And I know how hard it is to work with them. I've worked with them a bunch. So kudos to you. That's why I say you are an amazing woman.
Well, thank you. I wouldn't change a thing.
Same,
Wouldn't.
same.
Mhm.
So this new book, it is called MASH Vietnam.
Mhm.
Now, when people think of MASH, they probably think of, Klinger and all those guys over in World War II, but you are bringing it to Vietnam, which when I think about the idea of you working as a nurse in Vietnam, I think about the fact that it was jungle warfare. So, there's no ROEs, there's no Geneva Convention. None of that has an effect on how they're
No,
operating.
no, get rid of that.
That's okay.
There is.
So, yeah, so you're dealing with jungle warfare. So the way they're approached to this whole situation is win at all costs. So I mean, the injuries and everything that's going on there is like, we will never see anything like that again. And you were there firsthand in that unit taking care of these people.
Well, as I said, I wouldn't change a thing. Um, the biggest thing we had to overcome was no electricity. All of our modern machines run on electricity. We had we had electricity in spots.
Right.
But that was it. Yeah.
So it would be generators.
Generators, no running water.
Oh,
They, we had the big water buffaloes
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
all around. Yeah. The
Right, right,
operating room fixed up its own running water because they had a bunch of things and pipes hanging all over the place because the doctors needed to scrub.
right, right.
That was the only place we had running water.
Wow. Now, see, I wasn't even considering that idea. I wasn't even like that didn't even cross my mind, the idea that you need to scrub. I was thinking of using the restroom, but the scrub is even more important. And they had to rig up a way for them to be able to scrub so they could perform surgery.
Yes.
And was this like an everyday thing, or did they get it to where they had something permanent to, well, as permanent as it could be for everyday use?
Well, it was permanently there.
Okay.
It was jerry-rigged kind of setup that
Right.
people had to refill all the time, but you just watch it and fill it up when it gets low.
Goodness sakes. And oh, I wanted to ask you, how old were you when you joined the Army?
I had prior service in the Navy
Oh,
right
okay.
out of nursing school, but I decided that they wouldn't let me go to many places at the time
Mhm.
because women just weren't allowed to do that. That was 1960s.
Right.
Yeah. So when Vietnam started up, I said, why don't I switch?
And
So I
there you
did.
go.
Mhm.
So I know the
Yeah,
Navy,
I switched to go to Vietnam. That was conditional.
yeah, yeah, a lot of people wouldn't do that, Lorna. Gonna, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, I
kudos to
know
you. You're,
it's a way to travel for sure.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I definitely got my passport while I was in the military for sure. And
Mhm.
that was one of the perks to me as well. I mean, how do you get to know other cultures and step outside of your box? If you're just stuck in, beautiful America all the time. So getting out there, getting to know different people and seeing different cultures, also seeing the war from the viewpoint of the people we're at war with is very important, I think, because you don't know from over here. It's we were only seeing it one way, but then once you get over there, then it's like, oh, okay, now this is what they're dealing with. This is them dealing with us, and and you having to deal with them dealing with you. So
Right.
yeah, that
Well,
was
they had to appease the Viet Cong by night and and then during the day it was different.
yeah.
They have
I did have a friend who.
they're
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
ordinary living, but you have two different things going on. Yeah.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So the inspiration behind the book is definitely your experience being a young nurse over in Vietnam. What made you put it down on paper now?
I took a lot of pictures when I was there,
Okay.
and I have been giving luncheon talks, presentations, dinner presentations, and people kept saying, "Gosh, I didn't know that.
Right.
But thank you for telling us."
Right.
And I thought when I ran out of places to talk about it, I said, "Why don't I put it in a book?" So I did.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense
Mhm.
because you're giving them firsthand information. And usually, when I tell a story about being overseas and the areas that I'm in, nobody has any clue about anything over there. So it's always, they're hanging on by every word. Like, really? Like, wow, I can't believe that, this is the way things work over there. And you had actual pictures. I had a couple of pictures, but it wasn't nothing that, nothing that would really let you know how it is to be. I was in Kyrgyzstan. It wasn't, you know, it
Well,
wasn't Vietnam.
I've been a hobby photographer all my life. So
Oh, wow.
when I joined the Army, I had access to less expensive 35 millimeter cameras.
I see.
Yeah,
Now, you're an artist through and through. I saw that you also oil paint as well.
I do. I paint the pictures that I took in Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I saw. Okay, so are those the pictures that are featured at the Crocker Art Gallery? I saw something about that.
No, no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, our group did have an did have a display at the art gallery, but it was in the children's section in the basement.
Oh, wow.
But
That's a
no,
very
it
specific
was the
section.
closet, so that was fine.
So,
Broom closet would have been just fine.
right, right. So also I want to speak on the fact that I noticed that this isn't your first book.
Is
So
my
yeah,
first.
this
Mhm.
is your first. Okay, I saw something about a book, 2D Surgical Hospital.
Same book,
Oh, okay,
but it
okay.
wasn't, the publisher said your cover isn't drawing any attention. You
Oh,
need to
okay.
change the cover and the name.
Right.
I
Yes,
knew it's still around, but
yes. I saw both, and I was like, see, I thought it was a totally different book because, if you look at that one, it's kind of, just plain. It's got the lettering and everything. And then the new version is you spice it up. So I know
mhm,
nowadays attention spans are very short. So that's probably why they were like, hey, let's
mhm.
go in a little more artistic on this one. And yeah, so
Well, I think the helicopters on it did the job.
right, right. People love helicopters, and anytime you're talking about MASH helicopter, it kind of goes together, I would say.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things that pops in mind is was there any experiences that happened to you that you didn't get to include in the book just because it just either lack of time or it just didn't coincide with the rest of everything that was going on?
You know, I don't think there are really. Um, everything that I did pretty much could have gone in the book. There were some pictures I could not put in the book because
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't find people that the pics to get permission.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But when you work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, you
Mhm.
don't have a lot of time for things.
Right. I know. I've been in that position, 12 to 18 hours a day. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's something.
And most of
Um,
that time was in intensive care. So
oh,
along with having no place to go, nothing to do, I was really tired.
exactly. And then you probably didn't even have, did you have a day off? Did you have any R&R?
I did. I went to Hong Kong on R&R.
Oh, wow. That's
And
pretty
that was,
cool.
mhm,
We didn't, I went downtown. That was about it.
downtown. We went down.
That's all we could do. We could go downtown. That was R&R. We went from the base to downtown and then came back. Same day. We didn't get to fly
Yeah.
anywhere or anything like that.
Well,
So
it was the first time I'd had potable water. Eh,
oh,
no potable water, but in the hotel, clean sheets, and
all
really
right.
amazing.
Right. So I did get that experience. So we stopped by, I believe it was a Hyatt, and we lived pretty regular on the base, um, but it was Air Force, so we do live above the average. But
Mhm.
but downtown we did get to go to a Hyatt and like sit by a pool and
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of relax for a second. So yes, I totally remember that, and it was one of those feelings like I can't wait to get back home situation. But
Well, in this case, I was the lone woman in this whole entourage of people who got off of the plane and are heading through the airport. The Army guides everybody everywhere,
right, right.
keep the group in shape.
Right.
And
So you being the
partway through this, uh, going through the airport or through
right.
the um, where exit from the airport, you have all these hallways to go through.
Yes.
They pulled me out of line, and I
Mhm.
said, "Whoa." He said, "You don't need to go in there, ma'am. You can go to your hotel."
Oh, nice.
That was the
Wow.
gentleman's lecture of where to not get in trouble.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
I get it. All right. So also you're in the medical field. You're in the Army, and like you were saying, you were the only female in that group. So was that something that you like had to really like navigate around while you were in Vietnam?
No, in Vietnam, no. We were pretty much confined to our bases because the surrounding territory wasn't secure.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Um,
We did go, we did go to the little town of Anke one time.
okay.
A
And
doctor and another nurse and I. That was
oh,
an adventure too. I think the kids were used to seeing great big American men, but
right,
I guess they didn't really think that we would be equivalent
right,
because we were in the beach kind of filling it up.
right.
A young lady came by and pinched my leg.
Oh, to see if you were real?
See if I was real, I guess. I noticed the woman on the other side got pinched too.
Jeez. Yeah, that's not normal. But I can understand. I mean, that situation is just the whole situation wasn't normal. So, and you're not normal. You are outstanding, I must say. And
If you look at the pictures in the book, the
mm,
Vietnamese women there came up to my shoulder, shoulder about up to here.
really,
Very tiny, very tiny.
how tall are you, Lorna?
5, 6,
Oh, okay. So you're a giant over there.
a giant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're Shaquille O'Neal over there. You're just, you know, dunking on people.
And in that respect, we had our when we did move, we moved to Chulai
Okay.
and we had better facilities
Oh,
because
nice.
it's a Navy base. And it was right
Yes.
on the water, right on the water. We had a beach. But
Oh,
anyway, we had cleaning ladies there and
oh,
people
wow.
to wash our laundry. The
Yeah, that was quite a step up.
guard, it
That
was,
was,
it was an improvement, yeah. The
yes.
guard in our area said, "Come here, ma'am, I want to show you something."
Right.
So we went down to where the showers were,
Mhm.
and there were the cleaning ladies in there washing our clothes, and they were trying on our bras.
Oh, well, that's
They
that's
went
nuts.
on them twice.
Oh yeah, that's just
On them twice.
that's amazing. I don't even know what I would say if I walked into that.
I,
You guys,
I looked in and I said, "Oh, okay."
right? They're cleaning them, so I guess have at it.
They were washing everything for sure.
Yeah. So I
They
mean,
just put them on over their clothes.
right. That was
Around them.
just part of their practice. They clean it and then they try it on. I get. People have different practices in different areas, and that was
Well, it
theirs.
was certainly a cultural experience.
Definitely. So one of the main things that they were talking about in relation to the book is you dealing with the fact that it's an unpopular war. You're there working, and then eventually you're going to have to come back home. How would you be received, with your family, your friends, the country? How was that?
Before we came home, some other nurses and I were talking about that, and we weren't sure what we were going to do. But once you get there, um, you don't really think about that because you're
Right.
too busy being scared going home.
Exactly.
Um, we were basically camping out for a year, and now we went in, walked through an airport that was noisy. The light was too bright.
Right.
So it was a matter of just getting through that experience, not wondering were you going to be accepted or not.
Right. You were just adjusting back to civilization.
Civilization, one
Right.
step at a time.
Exactly. Yeah. Take it day by day. I get it.
Yeah.
So with this book, will this be because you do have more pictures? I know you're saying you need, some releases signed and things of that nature, but this book is available on all platforms, right?
As far as I know, for sure.
I definitely saw it
There's
on
here,
Amazon. What else did I see it on? I saw it on Amazon, and that's what's important because everyone uses that. So as long as it's on
Mhm.
there, then. Um, so were you planning on maybe another book after this?
I am writing one. It's just
Okay,
a little harder because it won't have all of the,
pictures.
well, the pictures I have.
Right.
Excitement I don't have.
Uh,
When you're working in an ordinary hospital, you don't have, I can get humor in there. I put a lot
right.
of humor in there, but you don't have the same kind of material to write about.
True, true. So, coming from a different perspective on the civilian side, I mean, but tapping into the humor within working in a hospital, there's tons of that there. I
Mhm.
worked in a hospital before. It's a zoo, that's for sure.
And odd things happen all the time.
Just constantly.
Mhm.
It's wild. It is very wild. But I
Mhm.
know it's nothing, new for you. You are adventurous. You are uh, someone who has a zeal for life. You are out there trying to make sure that you put an imprint on this rock, as I say. I always say imprint on the rock. But yeah, it's amazing to hear your story, and I'm blessed to be able to talk with you and hear about your great book. I'm definitely going to read it. It's inspirational to me, and I'm sure it's inspirational to a bunch of people that are similar with the same thought process. Is there anything you would like to say to maybe a younger nurse that's thinking about joining the military and how they can navigate coming from the civilian side to working in the actual armed forces?
Well, I wouldn't trade a thing. I loved my career. I was a nurse in the Army for 20 years,
Oh,
almost 30 years.
that's a
And
lot.
only one of those years was in a war zone. So,
Oh,
who
so you
knows
did pretty
what's
good.
coming? Who knows what's coming, for us?
Yeah,
But um, I would recommend it as an experience.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. As a,
Well,
you,
Lorna, it
you,
has
you,
been
you grow, you,
amazing talking to you, and we have come to the end here. And I'm sure that we will cross paths again. I want to write a book as well, Lorna. So I don't know if it'll be about the military, but I'm sure some of it'll be in there. You can't leave it out. It's been such a big part of my life, and good luck to you with everything that you're doing besides this. And thank you for being here on Book Buzz TV. I've been Courtney. She has been Lorna, and we will see you guys soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorna.
Bye-bye.
Bye.